You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. What was that, Tamara?
I got all kinds of alerts on my page. Pace Radio.
Yeah, so did I. I just got them as soon as we went live. You got all these notices that showed up, and that is.
I just removed them, right? I just hit remove.
For some reason, there's a problem on Facebook because everything that's going to Facebook is not going to Facebook.
I didn't have a problem on my show on Monday.
No, I know. Yeah, either did I. Either did I, and there wasn't a problem yesterday either. So yeah, it's
Facebook's
something. It is. We are running live. Just so you know, we are running live on YouTube, and we are on LinkedIn, and we are live on our websites as well.
I thought we weren't on LinkedIn anymore either.
No, we have another way.
I'm confused. I know we're not on that X thing though.
No. So we are live at the website, paceradio.net.
That's where I always advertise. Even when I'm on the talk, I always say, join us on paceradio.net. Because it's easier than saying, this one, that one. It just,
direct people to the website for sure. I'm going to try something out here and see if I can get it to reload itself.
So something I haven't asked you for a while.
What's that?
How's the renos coming? How's things going?
Oh, all right. They're coming along.
That's why I don't ask. Because I know that's like never a good thing when you're trying to build. Like there's always delays. There's always something that doesn't come in. There's always aggravation. I've watched my friends build houses before. That's why I hate asking.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not building the house, but
doing renovations. But I watched my friends.
Right. Yeah, just renovations.
Oh my God. And even like trying to get this roof fixed and have people come and look at it. It's like, can somebody just show up? And then I have a guy in the store today saying, well, we're a construction company. We can't find new work in town. I'm like, I can't find anybody. Come look at my freaking roof. Like, what are you
really?
Anyway, yeah, people are. Yeah. But I also don't want some fly-by-nighters that don't have, insurance and
Just so you know, I did remove those. I have removed some of those Facebook posts while we've been talking, and resetting them again. And unfortunately, they still get booted. So something's going on.
I would doubt it.
Facebook is like. Go ahead.
Facebook is, like I said, if I didn't have my shows and stuff, my pages and stuff for my social media and stuff, I would leave Facebook because I'm on Blue Sky and TikTok, but I don't use Blue Sky much because of Facebook. But it's got my pictures, and it's got my page for my show and this show, and it's cool for so many years. It's hard to peel yourself off of it.
Yeah, well, you know what we do when that happens, eh? We go to another device, just like this. This is one of those things. It just happens to happen when you're going live, right?
Well, it's like on Monday with my Wi-Fi going down. I didn't go back till 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
I was halfway through my show. I just started running just come back from my commercial set. Thankfully, I didn't have a guest, and all of a sudden it was just like boom, and I'm like, "Are you fat? What?"
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I went to YouTube, and I got the link from YouTube. And I am going to the Pace Radio Network's I think I know what's going on. Oh, I figured it out. Oh, no. Yeah, I think I got to I think what's happened is we're trying to run two broadcasts at the same time. And that is because I scheduled our newest podcast for to be released tomorrow.
Oh, and it's at the same time as right now.
And it's running right now instead. Yeah, I set the time right.
Should we?
Yeah,
Should
I'm in the process of going there right now, and
Okay.
I am going to.
Technical difficulties. These things happen, especially with life, right? We have some technical difficulties sometimes.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Let's be fair. Like, none of us have, degrees from state in media journalism and all these, fancy things. And
Right.
even if we did, we would have, graduated, 25 or 30 years ago. And some of the new technology we wouldn't have learned anyways. So we're all
yeah.
Right?
And people are getting a bit of a sneak peek of it right now. And
we got a sneak peek because we got the host of the new show as a guest anyway.
Right. So yes. Yeah. And instead of talking about him, we're talking about what I messed up earlier today with scheduling.
That's okay. Because you know what? Like I said, this is live and we just kind of have to roll with the punches.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can re-add Facebook. Yeah, exactly. See if we can get there. And if we were recording shows, we would just edit all this out.
I still got another screen down here too that says present and invite. That must be the music that you've got loaded up.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is not affecting anything, I'm sure.
No. Okay, let's see what happens. See if we get back onto Facebook.
And there we are.
Well, I'm gonna find out. Yeah, look at that. Click. We saw. Well, hang on. We're live right now, but how long? Because I was going live, but yeah, I should be. I got the other end shut down, and some people who were watching earlier here on Facebook, you've got a bit of a preview of what is coming up, and. Tamara, what can I say? Those things just happen.
That's right. Technical difficulties. We've all been there.
Like I said,
halfway through the mandate, I was like, oh shit, I got no Wi-Fi. Sorry, folks. I didn't even explain. I just all of a sudden I disappeared. I was like, oh, bye.
Bye. Yeah. Unfortunately, during your show, when that happened, the Wi-Fi kicked out.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yes, it is. Well, hey, that's what happens. And, the bloopers all come with the broadcast, right?
It's too bad we couldn't save the bloopers. Can you imagine?
What's that?
I said it's too bad we don't record the bloopers. Could you imagine us swearing at our computer and throwing stuff at it? People would actually see
that. Yeah, exactly.
I know how many times that's happened to me with this stupid thing.
Right. Well, I think we're good to go. I think we've got everything straightened around. Maybe, and I'm not gonna download this and then edit this stuff out. Everybody gets to see how that happens.
Well, but they know it's real, right? At least they know that we're real.
At least we are live. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to our guest. Tonight we have a guest that has been involved in the cannabis community for a little while now. They are educating people through many different ways. And they are also a new content provider here on the Pace Radio Network as well.
Welcome.
So, instead of me telling you all about this fellow's new show, we're gonna introduce him. He's gonna tell us all about the show, and we're gonna find out a bit about him because we like for people to get an idea to know who our guests are here on the network, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So at this moment, I'd like to welcome Dave Johnson of Dr. High. How you doing, Dave?
I'm great, thanks. You guys? How are you?
Hey. Well, you see what happens when you go live. You just never.
Welcome to the network.
Yeah, these things happen, What are you gonna do?
And the thing is that I program because we do have pre-recorded stuff here on the network.
Yeah. And
today I programmed 3 of them. So I messed up on one of them.
He never likes to say that he's got a lot on his plate, but the guy has a lot on his plate. Like you and now, since we've changed everything around again, he actually sets up my show for me. Where before I just go and, he didn't have to be bothered to do anything. He'd just go about his day on Monday morning and not have to worry about it, right? And now this lovely man sets up my show. All I gotta do is click and I'm in, right? And everything's already ready to go for me, which I really appreciate. Not, but it's
Yeah.
because we changed things so he can have everything like lined up for the website. But he does a lot of the back work and a lot of hard work. And I don't think he gets enough thanks and appreciation. So again, thank you, Al. And Al, for both of you. For making this put us all together in this network, and that we can all share our education.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I think tonight's issue we have to get back to the root cause, and that's the fact that we're all stoners. You know what I mean? Shit happens when you're a stoner. You know what I mean? It's just part of the lifestyle, right?
Yeah, but we always like. Some of us really were stoners before we actually found the medicine, and then once we realized that it was medicine, then it was more.
Yeah.
Like when people say stoner, I'm like, I haven't been stoned since 1998. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, all it does is kind of kill the pains and makes it so that I don't, so I can eat. Because if I don't smoke anything, I could go days without eating. Just
Really?
days and days. Yeah, because I've got lymphatic colitis, which gives me actually an anorexia. I've got anorexia. Like, it's like an eating disorder because you don't eat because then you're on the toilet. So you just make a habit of not eating, right?
Right.
And so you become you end up with an eating disorder along with the colitis. So
and of course the cannabis stimulates your appetite and you're motivated then to get the nutrition you require.
Right, but not
out some.
Sometimes it doesn't help either. It depends on the strain too, right?
Yeah. I sent her out some buds, and the next thing I knew, I see on Facebook, "Damn you, Al Graham! Now I'm hungry."
Well, they say part of the reason that cannabis can be beneficial to people with Alzheimer's because they forget to eat. You know what I mean? Their appetite's gone. They forget to eat, and by the inclusion of cannabis therapy, they have their appetite stimulated, right? So that's one of the benefits they talk about for people with Alzheimer's and cannabis. So
well, they also say that it's also like for people that use it on a regular, it's preventative because it actually inhibits the tartar that builds up, in the brain.
That amyloid plaque, right? Yep, and it's super low doses too. I think the studies in Israel had it at something like 8 milligrams per day. You know what I mean? Like a super, super low dose.
Well, we used to have the old regime where we'd say like, a grain of rice to begin with, and then like for cancer treatments.
For RSO. Yeah.
But then again, a gram per day, you're non-functioning. You're sleeping. Like that's a lot of extract, to be honest. I mean, you don't smoke. I can't smoke a gram of that a day. I mean, I just can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the microdosing aspect and the studies that are being done by, patients on their own too, as well.
Right.
With microdosing, we're finding that it's probably just as effective, right?
Yeah.
Small doses,
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's still going to trigger the same mechanisms, right? So how much do you really need? That's part of the problem is the titration of THC and CBD to be able to obtain effects. Until the U.S. legalizes cannabis federally, I don't think we're going to see the big studies going on in universities because nobody's going to fund them. Everybody who funds studies for drugs are pharmaceutical companies,
They aren't going to legalize cannabis. They ain't going to put any.
No, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't think.
We don't even like them anymore.
Okay. Let's jump into, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. So at some point during that turmoil period, Dave, Dr. High, he's going to be starting a new show here as a content provider on the Pace Radio Network. It will be also broadcasted out on the 420 Pace project as well at 420pace.ca. We're all together there. So we're having an opportunity for people to come on. You can sort of introduce yourselves to everybody, and we'll find out about your show. So let's start with your show and then go from there. How's that?
Sure. So I try to educate, inform, and advocate for cannabis. That's how Dr. High started a couple of years ago. And I'm always looking for new ways to connect with people and bring the information in a way that's gonna stay right and have an impact. So throughout the process, I was thinking, what's going to work? How am I really going to get in there? And then it kind of dawned on me that something that's really universal and extremely powerful is music. Music can make an impression without you even knowing what's happening. You hear a song you liked 10 years ago, and you heard it 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then 10 years later, it comes on the radio. Your brain automatically clicks back into that song, right? When you hear the hook, it brings you.
I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's such a powerful way to communicate. So I started looking at how I could use this medium to bring a mix of just lifestyle content, but also educational, informational, historical, all these different elements of the cannabis lifestyle and in the history of the plant in music. That's going to be up to date, modern music that people would find on the radio now. Cannabis music for a long time hasn't been really like mainstream music. It's always been really like niche-y, right? Comedy music or something of that nature. It hasn't been real stories of people's lives where cannabis has been included or has made a difference. Or a song like THC Symphony, which talks about the endocannabinoid system and terpenes and all the elements that make up the plant and how it works in synergy with the body and things like that. But the music is catchy. So hopefully the message comes through and people start to understand, because the real idea for me is to help people who could benefit from the inclusion of cannabis in their lifestyle, but are inhibited because of all these years of government propaganda that's made it into something that's stigmatized, and you have to be worried about what your neighbors think, or in some places you have to worry about laws.
It's not just a Canadian thing; that's a worldwide thing. And
it is a worldwide
thing. At work, I work in a Korean store, and one of the little ladies came in. She's from Bow Island. She's Japanese, and we were talking, and she goes, "Like, where do I recognize you from Lethbridge?" So I told her, and she goes, "Oh, but in my country, in Thailand too. Like, it's just." I said, "The devil's lettuce. They absolutely believe that it's harmful." I said, "But we believe it's medicine." And with Chinese and herbal medicine, especially in the Asian, Asian world, like wherever they are, they all have different, Asian different medicines and stuff. Chinese more than anything, but they still look negatively upon cannabis as not being a medicine because it's been deemed a drug, like with the CDSA, and it's on like the scheduled drug list.
It's something that was used for so long as a medicine. You could buy it from Sears,
like opium, right? Because like you're talking Asian people too, like their culture is like totally. So they see cannabis like opium. They think of cannabis as an opium den. Like they see like it just being like, and I said, it's not the same. I said, that's not even, but they've been fed so many lies, right? And trying to explain that to my Korean bosses too. Like they've been fed so many lies. You think we've been fed lies? The lies that the Asians and other countries have been fed too. So this is like a worldwide thing where we have to take the commodity off the plant.
Yes. Yeah. Because what people don't understand is it's not just, the benefit of the medicine of cannabis itself, but this plant can change the planet. If we turn to hemp as a resource to start looking at biofuels and plastics and building material and hempcrete and all these other things, we could utilize so much farmland that would be renewed by the planting of hemp and the growing of that, cleaning the environment, leaving less of a footprint. You know what I mean? And giving more employment and farmers money and all these kind of things. Nothing but win, 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 win. Except for the big corporate interests, for which that's a lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are totally like on board with that. We've been saying that for a very long time.
It's not. He's not just talking to us. He's talking to everybody out there.
Yeah, preach. But again, like with hemp too, like they're under the same restrictions that cannabis are. They can only grow 82 metric ton a year in seed. So the innovation, that's even like restricted in Canada because they don't want to let them grow that much hemp either. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The restrictions are ridiculous.
Yeah. So back to your show. Yeah. There, Dr. High, however you want to be addressed.
Well, I'm David Johnson. Dr. High is the the machine that I hope will help bring people to understand the benefits of this plant. You know what I mean? That's what it's really about.
You're talking about music and how music can work. To basically, in a way, you retain, information or that bead or whatever. And you're delivering education in your music that you've been creating.
Yeah, and entertainment, and you know what I mean? Everything about the lifestyle. Even songs about, lost love and, that when you're alone getting high and you're thinking about your past. But some of this music is mind blowing to me, because you and I have spoken about, how it's all done. And I don't know. I mean, and people who are seeing it and listening to it are finding it pretty interesting.
What we really haven't mentioned, Kate, what kind of music can people expect to hear on your show?
Well, I'm trying to focus on the genres that I think would be really relevant within the cannabis community. So you won't hear any swing or big band, most likely, but and probably very little jazz. But you'll hear, Southern rock on the verge of country. You'll hear reggae. There'll be regular like rock music. There'll be even dubstep and some trance and some stuff that'll be on the more of a mystical. Like Smoke Rises in Sacred Circles, which is an ancient story of cannabis as a ritual, you know what I mean, set to music. Or Hash Eaters, which is about the Hashashins that were the assassins back in the Middle East that ate hash before they went on their rampage, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? Because cannabis isn't supposed to do that to you.
It calms you down. So
and
they
that's
changed
an observation I have of that situation, so I don't get it.
I think they found that ineffective, and that's when they started making whatever the hell they found.
So it's really going to be across genres that I think will be relevant. Hip hop.
And you're writing all these, and you're writing and playing, and you have a band, and you guys are writing all this music. Or?
This is what we've got to get to exactly.
No.
Okay. I was thinking right on, like that's great. Have you heard of the Killing Time band?
No.
And I'm thinking you guys should hook up with Brad.
No, nothing like that. I'm more. I'll end up being more like one of those DJs that you see. You know what I mean? Those DJ guys more than that, because basically Dr. High has been built with the assistance of AI. That's what's made it possible. Right back in the beginning, I wanted to try and help people understand the benefits of cannabis when you're dealing with a specific medical condition. But you look online, there's just so much information. You don't know what to look, you don't know what to believe. So ChatGPT was just starting to catch. There was little publicity. So I got on there and I started to look at what it knew about cannabis, because I have, at that time, 40 plus years of experience with the plant already, in many different aspects, from cultivation to extraction to product manufacture to helping people get through the ACMPR process and sitting on all the doctor-patient meetings. I sat in on all of them. So I heard all the information, you know what I mean? So I had enough to figure out whether it was on the right track or it was totally lost. And what I found out was exceptionally good at finding studies that had been done on very specific things. And it was, because the computer was doing it, could be done quickly. So I started having it search up studies for specific medical conditions, PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, eating disorders, sleep disorders, Tourette's, Crohn's. And I took those studies and I read them and I went through them. And my wife is a nurse, so the things I didn't understand, I spoke to her about if it was, medical related. And then what I did was I took all that information and turned it into just regular talk, right? And put that information back into very specific, like beginner's guides of information about very specific conditions. So people didn't have to search through a myriad of stuff or buy a book on medical cannabis that would never even have one sentence about Tourette's.
For years, people were always saying, "Where can I find information? Where can I find this?
Yeah.
Where
Well,
can I find
it
that?"
kind of makes sense when you think about the whole aspect of epilepsy and Tourette's, lupus. It's all kind of, autoimmune, right?
Yep.
And I've got a friend that actually suffers from Tourette's, and I've never thought about using it. She's not really into it, I don't think, but it would be something I could mention to her. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're it's so thin, right? The information that's out there because studies haven't been funded and things like that. So some are anecdotal, but most of them were published either in Harvard Medical or National Institute of Health or places like that. Those were the resources that I felt were safe enough to put in, because in the electronic books, the ebooks, they're all linked. So people can read through the information in the chapter and then go directly to the studies to see for themselves. But the whole idea was to give them enough information so they could make an informed decision to seek out a healthcare provider that would be able to work with them to at least explore the potential of that therapy for their particular situation. So that's really where it all started,
Yeah, it's like with treating yourself with the magazine. Patients were taking them to the doctors to educate their doctors.
Yeah.
And finding the information for years has been a struggle. So,
the doctors don't know, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like they're starting to know because they're starting to ask their own questions, right? In fact, there's a time when I was actually in an emergency room where I heard a doctor tell another next to me, "Do you do edibles? You should try edibles because it'll help you." I do a substitution program. I know that cannabis helps alleviate withdrawal symptoms. I know it keeps them from and diverts them from wanting to smoke crack or meth or fentanyl. I know this because I'm doing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing the benefits from it.
You're helping people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your eyes don't lie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, when I got one now, it was like literally living out at Tent City. Last time I saw her, she was like, her face, like it was horrible. She got a hold of me and she said, I'm staying with my kids and my mom. Can I get a package? I said, absolutely. So I went and met her. I've actually seen her now 3 times and she's still with her parents, with her kids, staying clean and coming to me every week for a package. So I see the proof. I'm proof. I'm living proof myself. But again, I'm seeing it more and more.
No, it's so varied what cannabis can be beneficial in, addressing, right? Or at least helping to alleviate either side effects from certain medications or help alleviate some of the symptoms themselves, but the problem is that we had a doctor twice on the Cannabis Chronicles, a prescribing physician in Pennsylvania, a cannabis physician who had been a 30-year emergency medicine doctor and had a poor view of cannabis until his wife, who was an emergency room nurse, started to get involved and interested in it, which made him interested. And he gave up emergency medicine and became a prescribing physician. But I asked him about specifically teaching the endocannabinoid system in medical schools. And he said when he first looked into that in like 2018 or something like that, he said 17% of the medical schools were teaching about the endocannabinoid system. He felt that as of last year when we talked, it was up to about 25%. But doctors have an oath, right, that they take. So how are they ever going to prescribe medicine that they don't know actually works if they don't know the system it interacts with? So how are they ever going to know, right? So this is going to be a real barrier to cannabis becoming widely prescribed by all doctors, which it really should be a viable option for so many patients.
Well, they can take that course. They have to take so many accredited courses per year to keep their licensing. And I believe that there are a couple CBD, CBH, and CBN courses they can take now. Mm-hmm. We had a signing doctor at one point that did and actually taught those. He's actually passed away. There are doctors that are not turning a blind eye to it.
There are absolutely doctors.
When we first got started with this, I couldn't even mention the word cannabis in my doctor's office because he was a Mormon doctor, and he looked at me like, "I can't. What are you talking about? That doesn't help you." I'm like, "Yeah, it really does." Started stuffing me full of codeine and acetol and all this other stupid shit, and I'm like, "No, yeah." So there are doctors that are just they're never going to hear it.
Hey, how are
Hi,
you?
Gail.
Hello.
You just never know who's gonna pop in.
Keep hoping that Canna Expo
That's that live element, right?
That's right. That's
Dude, you never know what's going to happen.
It's a show ritual now. It has to happen if Gail is not home, it's not a show.
yeah,
Doesn't say hi.
yeah. Gail usually stops in waves and then makes her way, right?
Yeah, like I said, I hope that expo keeps October because I want to come and see you guys like in person.
Oh yes. Okay, now before we go to break, so you talked about the books and information is AI generated. The music that you are creating is AI generated as well.
Well, not all the music itself is AI generated. The content of the music, the style, all this sort of stuff is what I work through to create the instructions to build these songs. Right? So AI is doing the heavy lifting, but I still formulate its plan, right?
Yeah, you still like it's not all AI. You're still involved. You're still putting in input. You're still you're
I'm
still
not
telling words or changing creating lyrics or
I'm not going in just saying write me a weed song. That's not what's happening.
No. No.
It takes hours, right? If you look at the evolution of Dr. High over the last 2 years, you'll see how my ability to use AI has changed, right? So it's a learning process. So you have to learn how to coax the right results out of the AIs.
Okay, we're gonna go for break.
Okay.
When we get back from break, like I've got, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4. I got half a dozen songs loaded up here, including some that you have mentioned. All right.
Okay.
All right. So when we get back from the break, we'll play a song and you can tell us all about it.
Sounds fun.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
All righty. Oh, let me just get things lined up here before I let us go to break. Okay. When we get back, we're going to continue our discussion with Dave Johnson of Dr. High, and we're going to listen to some cannabis tunes when we get back. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net and 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, welcome back. And just so you know, just to remind you, we're talking with Dr. High, David Johnson, and we're talking about cannabis, and we're going to hear some cannabis tunes tonight. Hey, Dr. High.
Yes, sir.
All right, looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got half a dozen songs lined up, and I've got a few here that you mentioned.
Okay.
You mentioned one of them was very educational.
THC Symphony?
Correct. So I've got that lined up. I figured that was one of the ones you mentioned. It's very educational, so it's probably a good one to show. And then when we get back, we'll talk about when we're done. Now, we did talk about the fact it's music, but what we haven't told people is that your show, not only is it music, but it's video as well.
Yeah. I do create some AI videos, which are like full videos, like you would see a normal music video, but they take exceptionally long to do. So it's going to be over time that those will slowly come in for all the songs that are there. But the rest I've tried to, make sure all the lyrics are there so you can watch them, and make sure that the background's not fully static, so it's not, boring.
Yeah.
Now, right?
Some of the images, like some of the still images in the videos, are some of those images that you created using AI, and then you've added
everything you see.
You've added stuff to it after that.
Yeah.
All right. So
everything I've done.
I've got THC Symphony. Symphony. Tell us about it.
So this is a song that talks about the endocannabinoid system. It talks about THC and CBD and CBG and CBN and terpenes and all to a pretty good little rhythm that hopefully will stick in people's heads.
All righty, here we go. THC Symphony.
All right, listen, there's a blessing. All right, class, listen up, today's lesson. The endocannabinoid system. CB1, CB2 getting live. That dopamine surging like a roller coaster ride. My neurons dancing, feeling real nice. Bloodstream flooded with them terps and spice. The money lifts me, my mood take flight. Bottom of the Mars scene chilling, got me feeling right. THC's the leader, he bring the fire. Got the CBD be chilling, trying to calm him like a choir. The CBG the healer, fixing what's broke. CBN be creeping, make you snore like a joke. This is the THC Symphony. Symphony. Roll it, light it, take that hit. Her brain waves jump and feel that shift. Well, THC, CBD, do the dance. Cannabis got your mind enhanced. Cannabis got your mind enhanced. Feeling chill? That's the line, a little touch. New and feeling bright, that's that citrus punch. Terpenes be working, flavors unlocked like a symphony, but inside my thoughts. Living the hype, me CBD, beta cardio feeling right. Me pine and keep my focus tight, eucalyptal feeling right. Let all these compounds working as one. This ain't just a plan, it's a loaded gun. THC say yo, let's elevate. CBD like chill, meditate. CBG like bro, I heal the pain. No CB and say y'all, go ahead, I'll take the strain. This is the THC symphony. It's your THC symphony. Come roll it, light it, take that hit. A brain waves jump and feel that shift. With THC, CBD, do the dance. Cannabis got your mind enhanced. Cannabis got your mind enhanced. Dr. High steps in, lab coat tight. Endocannabinoid system runs your life. Anandamide, that's your bliss. CB receptors can't be missed. Brain's got receptors ready to go. Cannabis plants, they fit like a coat. Synthetic pills got you feeling insane, but nature already programmed your brain. Roll it, light it, take that hit. A brain waves jump and feel that shift. Go THC, CBD, do the dance. Cannabis got your mind enhanced. Cannabis got your mind enhanced.
There you go. Wow. You touched on so much in that song.
Yeah.
All the different cannabinoids. You talk about different terpenes.
It's catchy tune to it. Really good.
Yeah.
And who would ever think you could take that type of information and put it in a package like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's catchy. Like, it almost sounds like it should be on the radio. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like those Backstreet Boys type of vibe to it, right?
Well, this is what I knew that this might have potential. Well, I'm a big music guy. I grew up in Windsor, so Detroit was a massive influence, and as we all know, it's Detroit Rock City. You know what I mean?
Well, you almost sound like you might have been a radio guy one time before you got that radio voice.
Oh, I probably would have enjoyed that work, but no, I never got the opportunity.
Well, you do now.
Maybe.
We'll get there. You
get there. You never know. I'm still got time.
Yeah. Well, it worked out that Dave got a hold of me and he offered me. He says, "I'm creating some music. Do you want maybe some music you could play on your network?" And I said, "Well, hang on, let's talk because we've had music shows in the past here on the network, right? I'm all for that. Music and cannabis, it all comes together, right?"
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we talked, and I said, "Well, geez, instead of just one song," I said, "Can you create a show? Because if you could put a show together, right?" So I just expected to see some clips, some videos all put together, and that would be a show. Well, I can tell you, it's much more than that. And we got the first one.
That sounded really good, and I'm excited to have this be part of our network. This could go. Yeah, I like this.
It's music. It's fun. It's educational.
Yeah.
And that's the idea.
On the radio, people be walking down with, cannabis, and then, it's got a good vibe to it.
Well, that's why I've gone so hard in the pursuit of this, is because when I first started hearing what was able to be done, I saw that this is really normal music, but with a different content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's scary for the artists that are actually fighting against having that.
Yes. You know what? I'm friends with some pretty well-known artists in this country, and I do not discuss this with them at all.
Oh no. I know my friend Jan would not be happy.
Yeah, no. And I do understand that for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is the future of
Absolutely.
a lot of things, right? and you can use it for good or you can use it for bad.
Yeah.
But I think I found a way that I can use it to have a positive effect on a community and on society, hopefully. And with any luck, we'll be able to make a difference in some lives,
Educate people in a positive way, because the stigma is still there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get called a pothead. Oh, go smoke some more dope. Like, I'm like, excuse me, like, do you know who you're talking to? Like, do you know what I do today? Like, don't talk to me like that. Before it was like whatever. Now it's like it's offensive. Like, you don't know me. You don't know what I use it for. You don't understand what we've done and what we've accomplished and how hard we work to get where we are. It's offensive.
Yes. No, 100%, right? Because, while they're still selling alcohol and providing opiates to people, I
have no problem with them providing the opiates to people either. I'm fully.
Well, I mean, there are times you may need them, but there are times.
I'm talking like even the harm reduction that we've got out here in British Columbia. Like now they've made it so they actually have to go into pharmacies before they were letting them leave the pharmacies with it. But it's literally between 8 and 60 milligrams of Dilaudid in 2 milligram pills. It's not like they're getting 60 pills at once and they're just going. People misunderstand what's actually going on out here. If you live out here, you will know.
Now, you mentioned you make some movement in your videos, like that one. You saw the movement. It looks like a record playing off to the side there.
Yeah, in the background, right? And I try to get the background so that they'll be interesting visually also.
Yeah,
right? Because the thing is that we've become so accustomed to scrolling and going through social media that the attention span is quite short. You know what I mean? Like if I look at my video views, I can have hundreds of 3-second views.
Sure. But
when you get to 1 minute views, that drops, by 80%. And then when you get to who sees a full video, now you're down to like 5% maybe.
I know. So, I know the one app that we send out our audio podcast out on. Yeah. They don't count until the listener has been there for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Then you get a view. You don't get no views for 30 seconds or anything. Yeah.
It's just hard to hold the attention long enough, right? But hopefully this music's going to be in so many places that people will find it, and they'll find it music that they can get into. Like I'm putting a lot of videos on YouTube so that if you have a big screen TV and you're having a party, you can just throw the playlist on and the videos will just run in the background. You have the visual component, but you'll always have the auditory also, right? So, there's a lot of applications. Dispensaries can use playlists that suit the environment and what they're doing.
Yeah, and play in the store.
Yeah, sure. And I don't think anybody's done this. I think it's completely new, in a lot of ways. So,
earlier, onto another video, song. Earlier, you mentioned about the getting movement in the AI.
The AI animated video.
And you also, and we talked about the history. You mentioned one called Smoke Rises in Sacred Circles.
Well, I'm glad you selected that one because I actually got the best result with that particular video.
Good.
Yeah. Some of the other ones, they have some really wonky transitions. But when you're taking AI and you're animating right now, the technology is like, so it can mess up. But this video turned out pretty good.
All right. So you want to describe it again?
So Smoke Rise in Sacred Circles, it's, just shows how cannabis has been a plant that's been used for very, very long time, thousands of years back, even maybe in the times of, Stonehenge and places like that. And it's just about the ritual of it and how it's, been a very important part of culture, even from those days,
You mean it's been around longer than the 1960s? Some people seem to think that's when it first came around.
From my research, it's been around a little bit longer.
No, they found cannabis in a pouch on a 3,000-year-old mummy that was found in the Himalayan mountains.
And I believe they found cannabis in a Chinese emperor's tomb dating back about 5,000 years. So, it's been around.
It's been around for a while, exactly.
So now we have to know why it's not.
All right, here we go.
Let's
Smoke
go.
Rises in Sacred Circles by Dr. Hyde.
Feel the spirits move where the smoke shall speak. In the hills where the rivers flow. Elders gather round, let the fire glow. Drum beat soft, moonlight high. Herb starts to burn, reaching for the sky. Hands held tight, words unspoken. Breathe in deep, let the past be broken. Feel the rhythm, feel the flame. Let Jah spirit call your name. One puff, two puff, soul takes flight. Wisdom in the smoke, visions in the night. Ancient voices hum low and deep. The circle is strong, the fire won't sleep. Smoke, smoke rises in sacred circles. Nestle are lost, but the flame still burns. Past and present, one and the same. Lift up the chalice and speak my name. Through the ashes and embers, he knows what's in store. They say the leaves been blessed by the olden ones, passed through hands of kings and shaman sons. Used for healing, used for light, to see through the dark and make wrongs right. From Africa's fields to the Himalayas tall, the herb been growing before men could crawl. Passed from the ancients, given in trust. Now it's in your hands, breathe deep, adjust. One puff, two puff, soul takes flight. Wisdom in the smoke, visions in the night. Ancient voices hum low and deep. The circle is strong, the fire won't sleep. Smoke rises in sacred circles. Lesson you lost, but the flame still burns. Glad of past and present, one and the same. Lift up the chalice and speak my name. The ashes and embers, he knows what's in store. What hides in sight. Not just a plant, not just a flame, but the key to remembering what we became. Rises in sacred circles, distilling lost, but the flame still burns. Past and present, one and the same. Lift up the chalice and speak my name. Through the ashes and embers, he knows what's in
Wow. That,
You have to wonder what that, Chat GPT knows more than us. Like that whole thing,
It knows way more. But the
because
best
I'm Scott, right? Like I'm a Scott, and that just kind of creeped me right the hell out. Like, what does that guy know? What does that thing know?
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
they moved, the fires moved,
It's beautiful.
there's
It's beautiful. Yeah.
yeah, that's quite the
I find that very interesting. That, like I said, just the whole demeanor of how it was like the way it's being like stimulated, like because it's simulating that you're not putting in. Are you putting in Celtic? Or are you putting in any of that stuff, or is it doing all that itself?
When I create a video like that, I have a storyline that I envision. Right, I have a setting that I wanted because I wanted it to be mystical. I wanted it to have that aura, right, of the Stonehenge days, of that just that mystical, reverent feeling, right? So I had the concept there. From there, I have to create, for that video, I think I created 96 still AI images.
Oh, okay.
So that was a total of about 400 images generated to pick 96 that would then go into a process of animation, because I can only animate for a total of 4 seconds. But sometimes out of that 4 seconds, you can only use like 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds because the AI gets goofy somewhere along the line, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's why it takes so long to put them together. But yeah, sometimes they turn out pretty good, and I think that was one of the ones that turned out pretty good. So
Yeah.
I like the whole imagination of it all. Like that's why I was wondering, is that your imagination? Is that the computer's imagination? So
No.
whatever the combination is, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, like you give it descriptions. You give it things that you want it to cover, and it.
Yeah, like I have to have the idea, right?
Correct, exactly.
ChatGPT doesn't come up. Well, it can come up with ideas if you ask it to come up with ideas. It can come up with them, but in order to create something like that, I have to create, almost 100 individual prompts for, one for each scene,
right?
And then I use 2, sometimes 3 video generators, AI video generators, to get the right feel of the images, because they don't all produce the same type of thing, right? And I want to feel, and I need a consistency within it. So it takes a lot of time, but I absolutely love what I do. Like I work full time for MTL Cannabis. So Saturday to Tuesday, I'm working shifts there. But I put in almost 40 hours a week with Dr. High from Wednesday to Friday, and it costs me money. I don't make money. It costs me money, but I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hobby that might end up paying off for you, though. Like,
it may, because of the apparel line, right? I have a clothing line, and I'm kind of hoping that like music and merchandise go really well together.
Yeah.
And really, I hope that the music draws people in, and then I can, have the back end opportunity to, develop relationships with customers too at some point. So, you have to monetize.
Talking about your merchandise and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna, when we come back from the break, I've got your website here all loaded up.
Okay.
So in our third segment of the broadcast, we will go over your website and stuff that you're doing there. But before we go to break, leading us into break, I have got another song lined up.
Nice.
and this one, I know where it stands on your totem pole of what you like, and this one is Moonshine and Mary Jane.
Oh, there we go.
You want to tell us about it?
Well, it's just a song about the Southern boys who enjoy their weed, and the moonshine is a part of the culture, and it's about all that culture of smuggling and having to move around back in the think West Virginia or Kentucky or someplace like that.
The bootlegger days, running the moonshine.
Yeah, exactly. But except now they're running the weed too, because it's still outlawed, sadly.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, when that song ends, we'll be going right into the break, and then we'll come back and we'll be talking about your website.
Perfect.
As well. For sure. All right. Other than that, you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here with Dr. High, David Johnson, and we're talking about High Vibes, new broadcast here that will be coming out Thursday nights, 9 o'clock is when it's going to be airing at. And here's a song one of the songs I'm sure you're going to hear at some point during one of the broadcasts.
The ones who run the fire and the ones who burn the fuel. Granddaddy ran whiskey through the Georgia pines. Joints made them thick as vines. Me, I got both running through my veins. Born to be wild, got that outlaw name. Backroad smoking, flask in my hand. Kicking up dust, I don't need no plan. Pass me that blunt, pour me that shine. We gon' be outlaws till the end of time. We don't sip slow, we don't puff light. Pour it up strong, roll it up right. A little too high, a little too drunk. Till that we living life, we don't give a damn. Moonshine in my left and Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Keep the smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice.
to chase me down. Now I'm pedal to the floor, I ain't slowing now. Hide the stash, ditch the jar. Keep my boots running till I'm out this town. Back at the bar, we still going strong. Smoke in the air, whiskey in my song. The preacher said I need to change my ways. Told him I'll pray, but not today. We don't give a damn. Moonshine in my left hand, Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Keep the smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice. Raise your jars, raise your joints. Here's to the rebels, here's to the noise. Here's to the ones who ain't afraid to live. Take a sip, take a hit, and let's do it again. Moonshine in my left hand, Mary Jane in my right. Riding through the back roads in the dead of night. Sipping on the fire, smoking on the trees. Ain't no law gonna bring down me. Keep the smoke rolling and the whiskey on ice.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Ready brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, we're back.
That's a good tune. I know a bunch of rednecks that would love that one.
I was just thinking how much I miss Legacy 420 now that I don't get to go there.
Right.
That was always my go-to spot. You know what I mean?
I think Tamara's talking about the song.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good song, but that's a perfect example of how the AI can be a little bit weird sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's exactly. I mean, it does show the other side of things, right? But I mean,
yeah,
whatever. Like I said, I know 100,000 rednecks out here love it. You ever been to Alberta?
Yeah. Lived there for like 5 years. So.
I grew up there, and I'm from BC. But I'm not in Vancouver. Like, I'm not at the coast.
Okay.
I'm along the Personal Mountains and the Rocky Mountains. So I'm just on the other side of like Alford and Sparwood, like the mines. I'm in Redneck Hill here. It's the same.
I got my big dog here who's decided he wants some attention right at the moment. It is crawled right in between.
Mine's on vacation.
Oh,
is it? Oh, right.
Talia took him home. But then when she comes back, she's dropping them all. Like I had all 4 of them here, right? Now she went, and now he's coming back, like, and all of them again. But yeah, he's on vacation.
Yeah, actually, the song "Moonshine Mary Jane" is the one that has been streamed the most out of.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Everything that's going. So
it'd be the one that's
Buddy Weeds. We got a hi everybody. Hi everyone.
Hello,
hi, buddy
Weeds.
Come listen to some tunes.
He drops in. He's one of the guys who drops in, or her. Who knows? Buddy Weeds. That's all I know.
Hello, whoever. Thanks for joining us. Right?
But okay, now we've heard a few songs. I got a couple other ones there as well. But we got to switch gears, and head to your website to talk about exactly what kind of things that people can see when they go to your website. You mentioned earlier you got a product line, your educational resources are there, so on and so forth.
Yeah. So there's a couple. There's drhigh.com, which has all the educational resource, a blog, which I haven't been paying as much attention to as I should have, but has maybe 20 articles in there. Cannabis broken down by conditions, the same as the books that are available.
Yeah.
The
music is there. Your books, as you said.
The music is not there yet.
Okay.
I'm slowly getting it up there. It's a lot to do. Like I'm one guy.
Yeah.
So
hey, believe me, I know. That's why my website hasn't changed in 10 years.
Yeah, that's it. But when I started this project, I didn't have any expectation of it. And if it takes 5 years to get to where I want it to be, then so be it, right? Because I'm still enjoying what I'm doing in the meantime.
So people can go there. You can find out information on cannabinoids, flavonoids.
Yeah, you can find endocannabinoid system, all the medical conditions. It's a drop down menu. So there's I think about 27 medical conditions there. We talk about cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. Section about the entourage effect. Yeah. And a lot of the Dr. High art is displayed there. A lot of my original art from when I first started. So, and that's one thing for one full fact is every piece of art you see that's attached to Dr. High, it's all AI. Every piece. You know what I mean? Any image I ever use is AI generated.
Okay. Scroll down here a little further.
And you can find the links to all the books on top because I don't actually sell them. They are through Amazon. And you can get a e-copy for, I think it's about $3.50, which is just around the minimum Amazon lets you list them for. And there are paperback copies also. So there's, if anybody was looking for something specific and was having a hard time finding the resources they needed to get a better understanding of whether seeing a doctor or not would be viable in their situation, then.
So these are the books here. Migraine, headaches, sleeping.
And this is a big part of why the art started, because when I put the books together, they all needed covers, and I wasn't an artist, so I didn't really know how to do it. And that's when I thought, okay, so I'm using ChatGPT. Midjourney has just come out. Let's try Midjourney and see what it can do. You know what I mean? And that's really where the art started to evolve, was because I needed the covers for the books.
You need the covers.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another, doesn't it?
Yeah. And look where it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Over 650 original designs on t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, posters, canvases. Yeah.
So, as you said, this website is more of the medicinal end of things, and there's a lot. It just keeps on going. You got more and more all the way down.
There's 27 in total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nausea, vomiting. Oh yeah, I use that all the time for my nausea.
Yeah.
Having to deal with colonoscopies. Take that.
Is cannabis medicine would be basically the perfect companion to any of those books, because is cannabis medicine takes the 35 most prevalent cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids that are found in the plant. And then cannabinoids, it's a little difficult because the science on the studying of them has been restricted for so long. But terpenes and flavonoids have been widely studied. So basically that book will go through and break down what the terpenes have been shown to do to the body, right? The effects, whether they're calming or anti-inflammatory or anti-nauseants. So that book really kind of explains the mechanisms behind the magic, Yeah,
there's a lot of information there on terpenes. I'm just looking over at the sidebar and seeing that little bar is just a little small little thing. So there's
other things too, like cannabis. It's not like, cannabis specific too with terpenes, right? So
yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I think medical patients, really, doctors or anybody who is working with a medical patient should really try to embed tracking into them, right? So that they journal and keep track of what they're using, because LPs only grow strains for so long. So if you find something that's working for you, chances are that exact same product will not be available in 6 months' time, right? So you need to understand what that product really is, what terpenes are there, what the cannabinoids are present, the kind of percentages these things are there in. So at least then when you're looking to replace your medicine because you can no longer find it, you at least have a place to start, right? Because those components are what's going to be, whether it's been medically beneficial or not. That's what makes up the effects.
Yeah.
So
It's all part of it, right? It's all the entourage.
And if you don't track, you don't know.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for somebody to keep a journal of the product they buy and whether it works for them or not. It's an easy thing to do. It's just getting people to understand how beneficial it can really be to them down the road.
Let us have medical dispensaries where they keep track of our records, so we wouldn't have to be like that, because some of us are ADHD and have on the spectrum and have a really hard time doing any of that.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that for sure.
Dispensaries back.
You're right. And I wonder if the LPs that are going direct to patients are tracking any of that really relevant information either.
Mine's a rec one now. I don't buy from the LP anymore. Broken Coast went to rec market. So I'm left to the rec market and I can't grow my own anymore because I live in a house with not enough power. So I'm stuck with the rec market.
I tell you, Broken Coast was one of my favorites back when they first came out. I thought that they were really one of the best cultivators in the country, but that's changed.
Yeah, I'm looking at this flavonoid listing here. That's something that you don't like. There's things on there I've never even heard mentioned. Nowhere.
Kirsten and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I went. What's that? I've never heard of that. What's that?
It's on the packaging. A lot of the providers have the flavolines on their packaging. I don't have any. I don't have any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any.
I
don't buy much cannabis from the.
They're starting to list terpenes now because consumers are becoming a little more knowledgeable. So they're starting to put terpenes on there, but they're still not to the point where they're testing for flavonoids. You know what I mean? Because every single test costs an LP money.
Yeah.
And,
for sure.
You know what I mean? They really don't want to go too far beyond what they absolutely
they have their own testing facilities on site. Some of them.
Not all of them, I don't think. No? Like some of them use third party.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to have their own lab testing on site?
No, they all go off site. They all go off site to accredited labs for testing.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
And the thing is that there are different methods of testing to get results. So that's why LPs are able to shop their samples around to various labs and then take the results that look best on the label and place that in the highest THC because we all know this is where the market has gone.
Well, it's like,
going in looking for the highest numbers all the time and not even realizing what really matters when it comes to cannabis. And it's not THC.
Go ahead.
That's like the mileage on your car per gallon or per kilometer, how much liters you're going to use. It's the best results that show up on the paper on the window.
Yeah,
just so you know, YouTube, Buddy Weed says hi. Nice to meet you, Dave and Tamara.
Nice to meet you too, buddy.
Thank you. But and then again, haven't you taken legal cannabis to Legacy 420 and had it tested and it wasn't what it was supposed to be?
Wait, was that?
Haven't you taken legal cannabis to Legacy 420 and had it tested?
I haven't taken any down to Legacy to be tested. No.
Isn't that what Tim said that he's tested legal cannabis in his lab and it's not?
Well, I know that they've tested Legacy Market to see. I know that, and it's been way off, but
yeah. No, and that was one of the things I liked about Legacy 420 is because I had a lot of experience because I created a lot of my own products. So I knew my dosing always, and I knew what results to expect from doses. And when I started going to Legacy 420, I found that they were very good at getting things right. You know what I mean? Because the experience was very, very similar to the experience that I create myself. And it just gave me trust in them. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Now we went to the drhigh.com website. Where all your medical information. Now you've mentioned shirts and all that. I don't have that website open. So you want to tell us about what all you've got?
So I have. Yeah, absolutely. I also have a shop on Etsy called Dr. High AI Haze, and in there there are various products, but there's a whole section of digital downloads for people who want to do things themselves, right? So a lot of the art that I've created, you can go in and for a couple of bucks, you can download the picture. You can take it to Walmart, print it in the size you want, frame it, use it however you want. So that's where it kind of started. But I've always been a real T-shirt guy. I traveled a lot when I was growing up with my parents and stuff, and I bought T-shirts from every place we went, and I always wanted to have cool shirts and stuff like that. So for me, it was kind of natural to become interested in doing the apparel. And because I've learned how to use AI to create design, all my designs are original, created by me. I have over 600 original designs in the store, and they're available on T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. These are some of the digital downloads. These are all vintage posters and posters you can download and print up. It'd be great for dispensaries and places like that. But this is the other part of what Dr. High does.
Nugs, not drugs. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nugs, not drugs.
Yeah. So it just came because I just love doing the designing, right? I love the creations. I love to see what my thoughts translate into with the technology, and sometimes I get really good results. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, cannabis people who are not afraid to be upfront about their consumption and love of the plant. There's anything you could want to say pretty much here in t-shirts and designs, you know?
Yeah, really. I can see there's pages.
I think there's 14, 15 pages, yeah.
That's crazy. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nugs and kisses to all my bitches. Oh.
You know, I don't usually do things like this. I try to stay away from things that may be deemed offensive, but this has actually been a very popular design with people because I test on Facebook, right? So I create my designs on my days off, and then I use them to post when I don't have time. And this is the funny thing. If I posted, I'm a little high maintenance, this image right here, it might draw 15, 16 people will interact with the post.
Right there.
If I
I'm a
put
little high maintenance, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if I put the original design without the mock-up, without the model, without the person there,
right,
then it might get 100 shares, 80 shares, and have 150 people interact with it. So the psychology of the people is different too, right? Because you post that's the intent to sell them something. When you post the other, it's an intent to entertain. So the idea really between all of it is to brand Dr. High. If you notice in the songs, you'll find a line in every song that mentions Dr. High. You know what I mean? At some point in the song, it mentions it because it's
or it's in the background.
And I'm not trying to, I don't want to be wealthy, but it would sure be nice to at least be able to cover the bills every month. I'd be good with that. And I think realistically, this is probably the most focused cannabis themed store in the world.
Yeah.
The most product variation and stuff like that, but it's all about visibility, right? And it's hard to be visible when you don't have the money to pay for the advertising.
So, it's all part of it, right?
Exactly.
To get the word out.
Yeah.
That unfortunately does cost money.
And you're in Quebec, so you're not even allowed to advertise your stuff.
Oh, I'll do what the hell I want. I won't worry about Quebec. They can come see me if they want. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about Quebec.
You're in Quebec, man. You're not allowed to wear it's illegal to grow poor plants,
This is online, right? How are you going to regulate me? It's going to be very difficult to do.
I'm not saying that you would be. I'm just saying
harder. If
you were still in Ontario, nobody would give a shit, right?
Yeah.
Nobody would give a shit. You're in Quebec. That's a hard one.
But I'm not selling any smoking accessories.
No, but even the pot leaf is illegal in Quebec.
Yeah, I know in the stores because I worked with the Prohibition chain. So I'm very aware of what's allowed.
Not
allowed for sure. Because that was part of the problem.
I can't even believe it. It's just like everything they always got to be different, right?
Yeah. That's it. No, I think that's why I was able to build a pretty good following on Facebook early on because my cannabis content didn't focus on the recreational fun party side of it. It was all informational, right?
Correct.
I never made any claims. It was always done in a way that was just bringing information. And Facebook I've never had a problem with them. And I know a lot of people do when it's cannabis content, but I've been pretty lucky there. So
depends on what you post.
Yeah,
like I can't post my candies and say, hey, these are for sale for this much.
We started out the night having problems with Facebook, but that wasn't their fault. That was my fault.
It's just like it's actually like the little bottom thing that says schedule.
Yeah.
Be scheduled for 1:00 and the show's at 12. Then I moved it and then it changed everything, so I had to put it back. I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? It all worked out, but it was like,
okay. Yeah, I do several shows through the week to do that too.
Yeah.
So. I'm glad it doesn't happen very often. So, but okay, so you've got T-shirts, you've got educational information, you've actually got music. You've had how many songs do you have Did you mention
there are 40 that are published and available like that. But there's more to come.
More to come. Yeah. You got some in sitting there that are done that haven't been published yet.
Well, the thing is they have a fair trade situation, right, with the distributor.
Yeah.
Because AI generated and with the assistance of AI, you can do things faster, right? So it's very difficult for real musicians to maybe keep up. So I'm restricted in the number of songs that I can, distribute per month. So, and I'd really rather just filter through and pick the best ones. I've created quite a few, but a lot of them will end up in the trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like movies. It's going to end up on the editor's floor, right?
Yep. But it should be able to bring every week.
How long is your show going to run for? An hour or how long?
An hour. Yeah, an hour.
So now you've got that platform to, share your music too on this, and then it goes out, like you said, on all.
I'm really happy about that because I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? It was actually Al's idea. We were speaking about something else, and he's like, "Well, hey, why don't you?" And why not? Because I enjoy it. It's fun, and if I can reach people and make any kind of difference at all, I'm really happy to do that. So
set yourself up like a DJ, like good,
Well, that's how the shows run.
Right? That's great. I can't wait.
Yep, that's how the shows run. There's a song. I'll talk a little bit in between, and it's going to be really music focused. So
that's awesome.
So now that he's mentioned he's running the show like a DJ, and that was where I thought he would eventually get to. Yeah. But that's where he's starting out at. So I can just imagine what's going to happen when he gets, to the flow and getting used to doing it and so on and so forth.
Well, it's in my nature, Al, because my name is David Johnson. So DJ is my initials.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It was built into me.
Right?
I never thought about that. Right. Exactly. So it's it's an hour-long broadcast. He's going to be talking, introducing the songs. I believe the first episode you actually talk a bit about yourself, so that you introduce yourself to your viewers and listeners to the program, right?
Yeah, because I think it's important people understand where it comes from, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the philosophy behind it and my motivations and, what it's all about. So, I don't like to focus too much on that, but in the first episode, I think it's important that, that comes out. And then after that, it'd be as much fun and educational stuff as we can get in.
And while he's doing his speaking in between the songs, I had to ask him where he got his footage from, because he's running video in behind him, and I thought this was real footage. Like, where the hell did you get this from, right? Holy crap!
Was that Boone or something, Al? I think for that one, I don't know,
because I knew where he worked, right?
Right.
And the footage was, it looked like
it was inside a cultivation facility.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I was going, fuck, how do you get this from work?
Well, I tell you, I think that LPs would do a whole lot better if they did show some of the inside processes in their social media.
It's not
reach.
their fault. It's not their
fault.
Yeah.
It's the government. It's Health Canada. It's not their fault.
Yeah, it's because they regulate it like tobacco instead of like alcohol.
They regulated it like it was like, I don't know, asbestos or, anthrax or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, eh?
Oh my God, it's toxic. Oh my God. That's, cameras in every corner and you gotta.
Okay. I've got 3 more songs here, but we're not going to play them all. Okay. So I'm going to give you, I guess I give you the option of which one. Yeah, we'll play this. We'll play the song, and then once we play the song, we'll come back. We'll gab a few minutes. Find out where people can find all this stuff, so on and so forth. Because we do have a broadcast that follows us, so I got to make sure I'm done in time.
Right. Sure.
So I've got the Bong Water Oracle I've got Rolling Papers as well as Legal at Last.
Well, Legal at Last does have a little bit of Canadian content in there.
It does.
So maybe that's appropriate tonight.
All right. Okay. So what is Legal at Last all about? It's basically worded right there.
yeah. It's all about the legalization of cannabis. It's the hopes. What it talks about is a bit of the story about how families have been destroyed by, unfair cannabis laws. And that's where it starts off, right? And the harms that have been done through the prohibition of the plant. And then it evolves into showing how Canada is legalized and nothing has, the world hasn't come to an end and there hasn't been a rise in crime. And you know what I mean? So it's basically designed to show what the harms were and that legalization has, not been a negative impact on society or the way things are. So,
okay. Buddy Weeds, he's got a question. We've discussed this earlier, but you can fill him in. He says, what types of music do you make? Rock, rap, country?
All of those and more. So I'm really trying to work all the genres, from reggae to southern rock to dubstep, trance, hip hop, reggae, classic rock, all the kind of genres that would be appealing to people within the cannabis community. We're a diverse group. So I think in order to be able to reach out and touch as many people as possible, I have to think about that diversity,
Yeah. Buddy Weeds gives you a big thumbs up there, man.
Well, thank you.
So there you go. Okay. I have to switch this over. And so we're going to play Legal Last, and then we'll be right back shortly after that.
Nice.
We'll be right back.
Us up, they took our names for rolling dreams, they gave us chains, families torn, lives erased, a war on truth, a war on race. The cells were filled, the streets ran cold, the laws were written in blood and gold. 1 billion lost, but no one paid, except the ones they locked away. Then the walls fell down, the smoke poured through, suddenly they said it's safe for you. They taxed the pain, they sold the cure, but justice still feels so unsure. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. North of the border, the tide has turned. 5 years free and the people learned. Crime went down, streets stayed clean. Cannabis healed, it changed the scene. No smoke and fear, no wasted lives. No broken homes, no goodbye cries. The world took note, they saw it clear. The green rush rose, the truth is near. Oh, smoke rise high, echoes whisper through the sky. For every name, for every fight, one green leaf still shining bright. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High still lights the way. Legal at last, but the scars remain. Time moves fast, but who takes the blame? Gift of the gods, let the future rise. Dr. High, stand where the lost ones lie.
All right. Yes.
I love that song.
Yes. Yes. It's so true. You touched on it all in there. How the people suffered and what we had gone through.
Yeah.
Buddy Weed says that is on fire, and
Thank
it
you.
is a smoking tune, man.
That's
There you
excellent.
go.
You know,
Yeah.
like I've listened to these songs, I would suspect hundreds of times. You know what I mean? Because I don't move forward with them until I'm like, I fall for them myself. And yeah, that one.
Yeah. He said, Buddy Weed says you just can't wait to hear more.
Well, tune in tomorrow and you'll hear a lot more.
That's right. Tomorrow night, buddy. Tomorrow night, 9:00. Dr. High is going to be debuting with his High Vibes broadcast. 1 hour of music, cannabis tunes, and you heard a bunch of these tonight. All different genres will be covered, and educational music at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I really look forward to it. As I told you, I've watched that first broadcast multiple times.
That's good. That's a good sign, then, Al. You know what I mean?
Even for it to play, you watch it on the website, or you watch it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And just have it playing.
Yeah.
While you're there doing whatever within your house, it's just tunes playing in the background, and
ultimately that's the way I'm thinking of it, right? I don't think about it in the terms like a traditional musician would think about an album.
Mm-hmm.
I use themes to create blocks of music that would be thought of as an album, but the idea is to create a playlist. You know what I mean? So there's so much diversity that it's, always something interesting coming up, a little bit different than you know what I mean? Just a good mix. So and that's what the show's going to be, basically, like a playlist
and mix,
music, right?
That mix of music. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun.
Enjoy this.
I'm having fun putting them together. That's for sure.
Good.
So,
and the show, you have to create all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, the first episode I told you took me 20 hours to create one. The second one took me more along the lines of, I think it was more like 10 or 11 hours to create one. Today, I got it down a little less, but I'm not finished yet, so I don't know where it's actually going to end up.
I know what you mean there.
So I'm not sure what the final result will be, but I think I'm figuring out the flow, right?
You're correct. Yes. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Tamara, you got any questions or to finish off here with Dr. High? You're muted.
Yeah.
So I look forward to watching your show, and welcome to the network. And I see great things happening because I loved it. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Glad you did.
And catch me on Monday with Cannabis and Coffee with Marijuana. And if you want to support the Chronic Substitution Program, just hit me up, and you'll know how to do that. TamaraLeads3@gmail.com.
Yeah. Dr. High, got a direct message to you. Buddy Wee says, thank you for your hard work, Dave.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So where can people find Dr. High?
Oh, you can find me at drhigh.com. You can find me at Dr. High AI Hayes on Etsy, or you can search any streaming platform from YouTube to Spotify to Apple Music to iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Just search Dr. High, and it's there.
It's there. Good stuff. Yeah. All righty. Perfect. Yeah. So remember, Thursday night, tomorrow night, every week, 9:00, High Vibes with Dr. High here on the Pace Radio Network. It'll also be streaming at 420pace.ca. And I'm looking forward for this. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And hopefully other people will too. And it'll help, spread the word of the benefits of this plant.
Yeah. Same to you, Buddy Weeds. You have a great night as well.
Thank you too, buddy.
And other than that, folks, you can. Yeah. We'll be back next week. Who knows whether we'll just be Tamara and I or a guest. We just never know. And other than that, thanks to our sponsors, legacy420.com, Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, and At-Eze.ca. Big thank you to Dr. Hyde David Johnson for coming on the show. I really appreciate it and appreciate the things you're doing. And to our listeners and viewers, thanks for tuning in the program. Other than that, thank you. And
Elbows up, Canada. Good night.
Bye. Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.